drive, I'm going to go back to the pits and really not know what the hell I'm doing. So it's a little bit frustrating for me because I really have no idea, like I say, what I'm doing. But I do love racing with these boys. I've just lost a little bit of motivation lately, and I haven't raced for the last season and a bit. But as you can see, we've still got an hour and 5 minutes to go, and the weather is absolutely horrid. So what I'll try and do is I will try and attempt to go back to the racing, and we'll see how Gavea goes up against Hooligan. See what we can do there. A bit spicy, obviously the weather's not great. Also got, judging by the times there on the left, got going barking mad, young Cooper. He's sneaking right up behind Adge. Jimbo's back in 12th, chasing Jace. He's 0.7 seconds behind. These are probably some of the closest ones we've got at the moment. We've got a move here by Gavea on Hooligan, who's got a little bit loose there. Now, unfortunately, because I don't know how to change the views, I don't know where Hooligan is. Right now would be an absolutely great way to be able to change my views. So anyone who may be watching, which would be absolutely fantastic, shoot me a message. I'm happy to learn how this shit gets done. But Gavea's got a little bit of a gap now. Not great ideal conditions to be running around Nürburgring, but it is what it is. Might just flick back to young Cooper and see how he's going on Edge. He's a little bit closer than 0.6 by the look of that, with Saint Sim sneaking up behind Coop. Looks like he's got past Jace. I would say Jace has had a little bit of a excursion there. This has a flick through. Saint Sim's got a absolutely great view. What's going on between Cooper and Edge? We've got the top 9 drivers yet to pit. Jimbo is the first one to pit, and probably right now, looking at the times, Jimbo's probably not doing too bad. He's going to come out quite close to the leaders. Thoughts going out to Stoz tonight. Stoz is one of Stoz's young ones has had a little bit of a knock to the head, so Stoz unfortunately can't join us tonight. So all the best to Stoz and the family and the young one. Someone will go through on Saint Sim there. It's been an absolute pleasure racing with these guys, but I do notice that there's quite a few new names there. Carter 72, Peanut, even Hooligan. I know I've run against some of these guys, but I don't know, maybe it's just me. They're not a lot of guys that I recognise the names of, but I have since had a couple of laps with some of these guys, and they're really top blokes. Like I say, we've got Carter 72, we've got Jace there. I've got TB and Cobb McCool. Now that's funny. 14 and 15. These guys are not new, but Funny thing is, my mind is telling me that Cobb McCool and TB are the same person. So I'm not sure what's going on there, but like I say, not privy to everything that goes on. And Jimbo looks like he may have snuck past Carter. He's certainly not down on anyone by a .06 of a second, so Jimbo's back up into the top 10. Oh, a little bit of a lapse there from Jimbo. He's a pain in the arse, but he's an absolutely good operator. So let's just shoot up to Gouveia because he's all over the back of Hooligan by the look of it. And it looks like he's got past. Nope, look at this. This is absolutely great racing, boys. Good spatial awareness. Here we got 88 has a stop go for speeding in the pits. 88 would be, let me Jace. Poor Jace, he's got the stop go. Looks like Gouveia's got a little bit of space over Hooligan there. Is that going to be a track infringement? Possibly, but we just can't see it. So again, my apologies to anyone who's watching. If you know the best way to change views on this, I know I'm doing something wrong. I have done this before. This is my first time commentating on a race in well over 2 years, and I have simply forgotten how to do it. I know I can and should be able to change the views in car, change different cameras and so forth, so that I can show you in-car views, helicopter views, spoiler views, bonnet views. Well, we've got the bonnet view, but alright, let's see how else we've got close racing. There's a little bit of a gap between everyone. This is probably the closest gaps we've got at the moment. Hooligan and Gouveia. Everyone else seems to have a kind of steady gaps between them. And I guess that weather's playing an absolute bugger with everyone. So top 6 still yet to pit. Leaves a couple of the boys down the back there in probably a pretty good position. I think Jimbo might be in a bit of a good spot here, judging by where he's sitting at the moment. This will be interesting to see once the top 6 do actually pit as to where Jimbo comes out. Hooligan's probably cooked that corner a little bit there, gives Gouveia a little bit more breathing space. But you know, like I say, I've raced against the majority of these guys, and that's most probably why I'm commentating, because we've got Paul Cole, who's right down the back there. He's 2 laps down. Cole gives it his all, but the sad thing is I'm probably only good enough to beat Cole, so not that great, but still enjoy getting out there and running a few laps with the boys. It's always good fun. Although I'm kind of glad that I'm not running in these conditions tonight. These look absolutely shit, and setting up the cars, well, take my hat off to all the boys running, because everyone helps everyone. If you need a setup, there's always someone there to give you a chop out. Now, it will be interesting to see if Gouveia can pull a bit of time back on Peanut. Hooligan is always quick. The guy's an alien, but I don't know, it looks like he's maybe sliding around a little bit there. Doesn't look overly comfortable with his setup, maybe. What are we on? Got a few laps down. Maybe. Tyres are starting to go up. I wouldn't think so. You'll be running on wets. It's definitely the track and the weather to be running on wets. So we've got Carter, who's sneaking up behind Kickett. Not try and give everyone a sort of bit of a go tonight. Kick it. Oh, got quite loose there. Probably a good time to join that. Kicks just lost it a little bit there, giving Carter a bit of a chance to maybe get closer. But then, no, Carter's overcooked it there. Probably a bit of red mist. Probably saw he had an opportunity to sneak up on Kick there, but Kick is an absolutely amazing operator. Absolutely good fun to race against. Very clean, very quick, and just an absolutely lovely bloke. So I do know, as you can see, there's 16 guys. I think someone may have dropped out. Geez, if anyone can see what I've missed, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure I was 18th. So it appears as though someone's dropped out. I know we're missing Antbark tonight by the look of it. I know there'll be a few others too. We normally have about 20 plus drivers, so I know we're down tonight. See there by the totem, we'll call it the totem. There's a few decent gaps there. There seems to be no one crawling over anyone. I know, Carter's cooked it again. I think he knows he might have a bit of pace on kicking, but he just probably gets a little bit excited. The adrenaline kicks in and he's getting close to Kick and just maybe overcooking it a little bit. Trying to maybe brake a little bit too late. Pick up that few extra meters on Kick. But yeah, it's probably not, it's certainly the track to do it, but it's probably not the weather to do it. Giving it a red hot go, so I won't take that away from him. Well, St. Sim is trying to come all over the back of Cobber. I think those times have been dropping. Let's have a look. Sorry, let's just have a look at Bounty and Carter here. Oh, Bounty's got him. Bounty's got him. Not used to seeing Bounty down that low, but he has done a pit stop. Well, like I say, to anyone's watching this, I think Jimbo right now, I think Jimbo's going to be in the box seat here. Might just sneak up. No, young Cooper's just snuck into the pit, so it'll be interesting to see where Jimbo comes out on him here. I think Jimbo, this is going to be close, I think. Could be close. Well, depends whether Coop's taking fuel and tyres. I do believe fuel is about 30 seconds, 20 seconds, and tyres are an extra 5 seconds more. But I would say Jimbo has snuck past Coop there. Coop's still showing he's in the pits. And I'm not going to stay on Jimbo because the guy, he'll get a fat head. Apologies, I do have a bit of a frog in the throat. I'd like to tell you all I don't tell this much, but I know the good lady would tell you I do. And like I say, first time commentating in well over 2 years, so it would be lovely to have someone here commentating with me, just someone to bounce off, someone who's probably a little bit more knowledgeable than I am. Alright, what kind of gaps have we got? If anyone wants to jump in with someone, please let me know. Again, apologies because I seriously don't know how to change. I can change cars, but I can't change the view. So I will try and have a chat to Mr. Trevor Byers from Kid Byers Racing, KRL, and I might have a chat to him or try and have a chat to him during the week and see if I can get some pointers off him. It would be absolutely lovely if he could jump in with me, because he is the voice of sim racing in Australia, ladies and gentlemen. Alright, Cobber's right up behind young Carter here. I think we can all see that. He's going to be... Carter, I think Carter could... Yeah. Oh, Cobber. Stay off the wall. Stay off the wall. He will... Oh. He will get Carter. That's a very rare mistake from Cobb there. But I do believe he will get Carter. I think Carter, I don't know how new he is to ACC. Cobb has got a lot of experience, and having said that, I was very surprised to see him overbreak himself there, but he's right back on the back of Carter here. And I think Carter will be seeing those headlights in the mirror, and he will be probably worrying more about those headlights than what's in front of him. That's now just to see who's got the bigger balls. I think, has he got it? Cobb, he's pulled that up right, Cobb. I'd say he's got him. He's taken the inside, he's taken the race line, so yeah. Cobber sneaks past Carter there for 10th. Yeah, let's see what Cobber can do on St. Sim. We now have Gavea. Gavea is just, oh my, look at him. He's pulled back, what, 3 seconds in the last few laps to get within 4 seconds of Peanut. Let's have a look. There you go, 3.8. That's going to be an amazing, race to watch when we see these two get close to each other. I think we could be in for a very good race here. Like I say, if anyone is watching and you would like to see, sadly, the bonnet view. Okay, let me just see. Maybe I've got a very slight memory here. Memory like a goldfish, guys. Let me just change my view. And then we'll do, not that, we won't do that. Let's try this. So it looks like I can change views to a certain, I would love that. Don't get me wrong, I know we got helicopter view, I would love the helicopter view, but again, it's the whole memory. My memory is just way too long between commentating gigs. Conveyors pulled back another 0.3. Let's just shoot down and have a look at young Cooper. Coming up behind, looking up, Cooper's got him as well. Cooper's cut the corner, but still does the job. Someone's just popped into the pits. Chase is still there. Cole's, give Cole credit, he is absolutely, turns up every week. Same result every week. But he tries his hardest every week. Mind you, I do believe if my memory is correct, which as I think you all know tonight, it's probably not. But I believe Cole might be in his late 60s, early 70s. So take my hat off to you, Cole. Well done. might just sneak back and have a look at Peanut. Peanut is very slowly taking time out of time after Gervais. Look, even now, if I had bothered looking at the totem, I would have actually seen that he was in the pits. So he's not 2.2 seconds behind Gervais, he's actually in the pits. Kick it's coming up behind that. Now let's have a look. As you can see, like I mentioned earlier about Jimbo, he's kind of in the prime position here. It'll be interesting to see if Peanut comes out in front of Jimbo. And I'd say Jimbo's just got him. Has Jimbo just got him? Jimbo may very well have Stu as well. We need the timing to update. We can see where Jimbo is there on track. Let's just see where Stu is. No, Jimbo's got him. Jimbo's got him. Jimbo's leapfrogged a few there by pitting when he has. Stu's not keen on using full screen like this. Oh, sorry, my apologies. I sincerely apologise about that. We do not want to see that. That is absolutely atrocious from myself. Let's try and get back to the actual driving, shall we? Return to the garage. Let's check out. Let's just try and change another view here. I don't know what I did then, but like I say, I'm an absolute muppet. Controls are locked yet, very good. Oh, I wish I could give you guys a better helicopter view. That I would be really happy with. Really happy with. Oh, I've done it again. Fat fingers. Alright, let's have a look. Who's close? Who have we got close? Bounty's coming up behind Kick. Looks like Kick's got a bit of a slide there happening. Carter is 1.1 behind TB, but he's still yet to pit, so Bounty is all over the back of Kip here. We might just stick with this for a minute. Let's see how Bounty goes. Bounty is... I've raced a lot with Bounty and he just is always so clean and so quick. Actually quite surprised to not see Bounty higher than 7th. But you got to remember the first two have yet to pit. We are over halfway race distance. Kicks overcooked the braking a little bit. Looks like he had a bit of looks like he's a bit loose there, Kick. There we go, you can see it right there. I think Bounty's just got to really try and find the right spot to get him. And yeah, look, probably these corners aren't the best. Kick's not going to give this up easy, don't get me wrong. Kick will not give up this position easily. Alright, we've got Gouveia who's come into the pits. So the leader has come into the pits. Might just stick with Bounty and Kick here at the moment. Kick is still showing a bit of pace. He's over, yeah, he's cooked it a bit there. Brought Bounty right back up behind him. Sounds like there's a bit of sliding going on there. This is probably the best battle we've got at the moment, so we might, like we say, we might just stick with these guys. Be interesting to see. Jimbo's still 16 seconds behind Peanut, so his pitting when he did has done the trick, but Peanut has just seriously got some legs on him. Let's see where Jimbo, there's 17 seconds. We'll come back to these two very shortly because it's a very interesting scrap at the moment. I'll just shoot up. There we go. Hooligan has got Gouveia, but then Gouveia did pit. So this is going to be interesting to see if Hooligan comes in on this lap. So we might give it a little bit more time. Then we might just flick the Hooligan and see if he's going to come into the pits. Because this is great racing between these two guys. Kickett's going to be under a little bit of pump here because he knows Bounty's behind him. And he knows how good Bounty is. But you can see Kick's got some pace in some of these corners, and Bounty's he's overcooked that one. These guys are going pretty hard at the moment. Might just shoot back while these guys are having a bit of play. Shoot back and have a look and see how, I don't know, Coop looks like he's got past Cobber. Either that or he's had a little bit of an incident, and he's got 3 cars in his sights there. Saint, see, yeah, that's the boys there. So Saint Sim is taking advantage of this battle between Bounty and Kick. Because it's brought them all up nice and close together. If Kick can put his head down and get some clean laps in, while these guys are battling out, I think he'll be on the back of these guys before he knows it. And there we go, Cobber's in, Cobber. Hooligan is just coming to the pits for his mandatory stop. Let's see where he brings him out. So Peanut's picked him up there. Very good strategy from Peanut. He's now jumped into the lead. Hooligan's still sitting in the pits, as you can see. So our clear race leader is Peanut. Oh, the boys have had a bit of a... Bounty's still got him. Can he hold it? Because here comes Kick. Goes defensive, Bounty. Kick right behind him, sitting in the slipstream. Old Saint Sim, he's just popped out the side, but he'll be watching this with... He'd be seriously hoping that these two maybe get a little bit too involved. And sure enough, a young Cooper in 9th, he's picked up a little bit of time on these guys. They're just too busy with the battle. So that's going to fall into Coop's advantage here. Saint Sim, he's putting the pump, he's putting Kick under the pump, but then I don't think Bounty's going to be feeling a lot of relief now that he's in front of Kick. It's all about clean laps, but you've got 3 guys battling hard here, and I thought there might have been a touch there. I think we'll definitely stick with this battle at the moment. It's certainly the closest one, but the boys are, you can see that they're really trying to get stuck in and go hard. You know, they are putting each other under the pump, and they are pushing these cars to the absolute limit. Which I think that is why we all love going racing. You don't go out there for shits and giggles. Kick needs to find a little bit of pace here just to see if he can come up behind Bounty. Bounty's got Hooligan in his sights. Only just though, he's still fair stretch up the road. And yes, we do have the driving line on. I've got to admit, I do drive with Kicks pulled out to the pits. Now this will be Kick's second pit stop, which is probably a good time to do it. He's taken himself out of the situation, taken himself out of being under pressure, and hopefully by the time the second lot of pit stops comes around for Bounty and Sim, he'll be in a good position. But then, depending on when these guys stop, his tyres are going to be I'd guess quite a few laps old. I couldn't see St. Sim and Bounty pitting anytime soon. I don't know. This all comes down to each individual driver and when they choose to pit and their own pit strategy. So whether they're taking on tyres and fuel, it is entirely up to these guys. Stu will have nominated what the pit stop strategy is, whether it's tyres only or fuel only, or whether it's both. So whatever has been nominated by Stu, then that's what you're looking at. Even Bounty's struggling, so you never know. These guys may very well come in early because they're pushing their tyres to the limit. I think anyone who has raced ACC knows that your wet tyres seem to kind of last forever. I mean, they go off like any tyre does, but in these conditions, I think they will be slow burning tyres. So Kick's now out of the pits in 10th position, and that might not be too bad. As you can see, Jimbo is now up into 3rd. So his pit strategy has played off well. He's got Stu just on a second behind him. This is probably the closest battle pack we've got at the moment. Be very interesting to see when these guys pit, how that affects Kick. Alright, so Jimbo's in for his second stop. Is that going to be good strategy or not? Because he could just be taking himself out of being put under the pump by Hooligan. So this is really, really good strategy from these guys. I mean, they are seriously thinking about when things are going to happen. Now, Cole, that's great from Cole. Cole knows he doesn't have the pace. He's not the best driver on the track. And take my hat off to Cole, he's getting better and better of being aware when the quicker drivers are coming up behind him, and you can see there he's literally just jumped right out of the way. And look, because I'm not the quickest either, I panic a little bit as well. When you see the quicker drivers coming up behind you, you actually try and do the right thing by get out of the way, but sometimes you just overreact a little bit, and on occasion you put yourself in a little bit of danger. Now Bounty is such a smooth operator. I don't know if St. Sim's going to be putting him under the pump. Look, St might be quicker than Bounty, but Bounty is such a good driver. He's just, I've seen this man win so many races, and whether he's feeling pressure from St. Sim at the moment is anyone's guess. He's normally head down, ass up. Old St. Sim certainly looks like he might have the pace here and there, but Bounty is a very good driver. It'll be interesting to see how he handles this. So I do apologise. We are going to stick with this because, again, probably the quickest battle we've got. But then, if you have a look down the totem, young Cooper is certainly not far behind, and he's just put himself in the mix. Has he overcooked it? If he has, oh, this is going to be spicy. This is going to be spicy. And if I was Coop, I would probably be looking at pitting at the end of this lap. All right, he does not want to lose touch with those guys, but what are we looking at here is he came up behind those guys pretty quick, so Coop's certainly got a bit of pace in that car. So if he can put in a beautiful, nice, clean lap here, a lap or two, he may very well do a lap or two here in the hope that he can pick up a little bit of time, go into the pits and leapfrog the both of them. So this will be interesting to see what Coop does here. So I'm going to stick with Coop for this lap because I really do want to see what he's going to do. Is he going to try and pick up a bit of pace on one lap? Because you've got to remember, when these guys come out of the pits, they're going to need a lap or two to get those tyres up to temperature. So now Coop's on a set of tyres that are up to temperature. Does he stay out for another lap or two while he's on tyres that are up to temp, in the hope that he can leapfrog Bounty and Saint Sim and just see what happens? Because he seems to have that car dialed in. He took that corner really well. So here we go. We're not far from pits. Now, as I was saying before, yes, you see the driving line there because I do drive with the driving line on. I never used to, but then I'm a shit driver. So I figured I need all the help I can get. So I went from having the driving line on to having the driving line off. I didn't do too bad with the driving line off, and it's actually quite funny because when you do drive, you kind of zone out from the driving line. So it's there, but in my mind it's not. But it's when I do have issues, yes, I find that I do refer back to the driving line. A lot of people might call it cheating, but when you're a shit driver like me, you kind of need as much help as you can get. Now, as you can see, Coop has stayed out, so he knows he's got tyres up to temp. These guys are on their out lap, their tyres are not going to be up to temp, and chances are their next lap, their tyres will still not be up to temp. But you can now see that the track has gone from wet to damp. But we still have, for the next 15 minutes, we still have rain forecast. So it's turned into a horrible night. I did miss the start of the race, which was mainly me. I was stuffing around trying to figure out if I could get camera angles right, which, as you can see, I obviously have not. But again, I will try and have a chat to Trev Byers during the week and see if he can offer me some advice on that. I might even send him a message after tonight, see if he can't throw some advice at me. And hopefully next week, if I don't drive next week and I do a live stream and commentary again, then hopefully for anyone who does choose to tune in, it might be a little bit better experience. But I think these boys would probably be more than happy racing Nürburgring tonight and not the Nordschleife. In this weather, it would be absolutely horrendous. Alright, we'll stick with Coop here till the end of this lap, just to see what he's going to do. He seems to have, what do we got, 5. So we've got young Coop, car number 46. We're talking about him and Bounty. He's going past the pits again. So Bounty being number 5. Okay, so 5 and 52 is Adge. Kickett is right back. So has Kick had an issue? Has Kick come out of the pits and had a bit of an issue? because Bounty's way in front of him. Where's Saint Sim? Saint Sim car number 3. See, Sim's right back as well. So I think Coop needs to. I think Coop probably needs to pit at the end of this lap. He's starting to. Yeah, so you can see him overcooking it there. So I think Coop needs to go in and pit for his tyres before this gets any worse. Now, whether it's Coop being nervous or whether it's the tyres getting a little bit rich, I don't know, but I think Coop kind of needs to maybe thinking about pitting this lap. Now, as you can see, the top six has still got one pit stop to go. I just want to stick with Coop here for the end of this lap. I know I said that last lap, but I just want to see. I think Coop needs to pit here, I really do. So I'm just keeping an eye on Hooligan and Stu at the moment, which is 3rd and 4th. Keeping a close eye on that just to see, you know, because that's the thing, you know, you've got to remember with what we're seeing here on the totem, with where see how far the guys are behind. I could very well flick over to a Hooligan at the moment and he's probably potentially already got past Stu. So Jimbo in 7th is 0.2 behind TB. Now that will obviously change because Jimbo is going to leapfrog him when TB does his next pit. Alright, well, so let's see what Coop going to do. He's going for it. Yeah, that's good thinking. Really need to fucking get in there, Coop, and get that pit done. And hopefully, where are you? So a car 46. Now what we have to look at is car 5 and car 3. Now car 3, I don't think car 3, which is Saint Sim, I'd say he's had a bit of an issue. Bounty is... It's going to be close with Bounty, I think. I really do. Because you've got to remember, you're looking at a 20 to a 30 second pit stop. Alright, judging by our totem. Oh, well, look at that. I'd say there's only fuel there, guys. He's ripped in and ripped out quite quick. Dude, that's a hard call. I don't know whether he's taken fuel or tyres or... I don't think that's both. So Jimbo's picked him up. Coop, I think, is still having trouble with those tyres. To be honest, I've seen this kid race in the wet and he's very clean in the wet. I've had tangles with Coop in the wet, but that was probably a little bit of both of us getting excited. But I worry that just with the sound that you can hear the tyres sliding, has he just taken fuel? And I'm thinking maybe he should have taken tyres. You know, you got to remember he's still got 22 minutes to go. That could really cook those tyres. But we'll just have to wait and see. Jimbo's now going to be up in 5th. So he is the first one that has completed all pit stops. He just dropped down to kick. He was all over the back of Cobber. Now I don't know where Kick gets his car set up from, but it's generally very, very good. And I have had the privilege of Kick sharing his car setups with me, and they're actually quite stable, that his setups. They are generally very, very good. So I will give a shout out to actually Stu, Jimbo, Kick, Cobber. Jeez, the list goes on. I think even Hooligan, all these guys have helped me out with setups in the past. And They're all very similar, but what you generally find is when you have so many guys offering you setups, it's really good because you can run laps with each individual setup, and you'll generally find that one setup is more stable to your style of driving. So I would say that, who was that? That kind of looked like Cole's car. So Cole might have just gone wide there. He's probably tried getting out of the way of the two quicker drivers coming up behind him, and he's kind of sort of just put himself in the kitty litter a bit. He might have panicked. His mirrors are full of headlights. Jump over to TB. No, in the pits. Sorry, actually, amateur hour here, guys. This is. I should have looked at it. Cobber was literally had the P next to his name. I'm thinking, oh shit, he's right behind Bounty. No, he's not. So we might just drop back to kick. Oh. Did he get loose? Did he get on the grass? Did he try too hard? Unfortunately, we won't know that. But will he sneak back up behind Cobb? He certainly is. Look, he's lost a little bit of time, but it's not that bad. If Kick's got the pace, and he's come up behind Cobb and maybe overbraked himself, or it could be any number of reasons. Has he just screwed himself up? Because it'll be interesting to see. You know, we're not going to stay on this too long. It is the closest battle at the moment. But it'll be interesting to see if Cobb does have the legs in this car to sneak back up. Whether Kick's got the legs in this car to sneak back up behind Cobber. It looks like he's closed the distance already. Yeah, he certainly has. He's just, I don't think he's 3.5 seconds behind. Judging by the totem though, certainly brought Sim back into the picture, which, as we know from earlier, we had Saint Sim, I believe, Kick It and Bounty all having a little bit of a battle pack there. So this will be interesting to see if now Saint Sim is coming up behind Kick. Is that going to put Kick into defensive mode? Yeah, you can see right there he's buggered that up. So that, oh, look out. No. That, he spun both of them. Yeah. That I believe, looks like Kick's redress there. He certainly let Saint Sim go ahead, but that to me is very well going to enter into a protest for unsafe re-entry to the track. Good on Kick. That was great from Kick to back off and allow Sim to get back on track. But I certainly think that was, like, Kick went way out wide there. You could see he whether he's overbraked or fucking didn't brake hard enough, who knows, but he's gone way out wide, and it looks like he's tried sneaking back onto the track, but sadly he's snuck back onto the track. He's clipped the back quarter panel of Saint Sim, and they've both spun. So that, in my mind, is a reason for a protest there for unsafe track re-entry. I mean, as I said before, Kick certainly got pace, but yeah, he kind of didn't re-enter the track after that in a safe manner. But then that's up to the stewards. I'm allowed to have my opinion, but I certainly think that there might be a case to answer there. We'll stick with these guys for a little bit. Certainly the closest. Oh, wow. I don't know what that was all about. St. Sim has certainly pulled over to let Kick go through. I don't know why. I think St. Sim did have the pace there. Sorry, we'll go to... That was an unusual move by St. Sim. I don't know why he's done that. He's literally pulled over and backed off to let Kick it through. Everyone's on the same lap until we get down to Carter in 13th. I don't think St. Sim is going to be looking to give Kick it a nudge. I don't think he's that kind of driver. I don't believe anyone in this race is that kind of driver. But Saint certainly got the pace. Now, I don't know why he's let Kick through. Very interesting. Now got Hooligan into the pits. He's cleared his second pit stop. So, see, Kick's done the similar thing there. This is good racing by these two guys. The majority of it clean. So once Peanut comes in for his second stop, we've still got Carter, Jason, Cole. We've still got them to complete their second pit stop, but sadly those guys will not affect the top order of this race. Is Saint going for the undercut? No, he's just out braking himself. Be interested to know who, if any, have changed tyres. I know there was a bit of chat during the week from some of the boys. I believe Jimbo is one that was talking about taking tyres in the second each pit stop. Stu might be another one. But I think with our top two, you've got to kind of look at it, and I don't know how far. There we go. Let's just look at the timing schedule here and see how much Gouveia is behind Peanut, because that will kind of give us an idea of who might leapfrog Peanut. So I would certainly think that the top five are certainly in it. I'm not seeing a timing update for Gouveia, so it's kind of a little hard to comment at the moment. I know Peanut is quick. He's an alien himself. I've seen drivers like I've raced against Gouveia before, not necessarily in ROOZ, but great driver. Stu, Hooligan, Jimbo, all great drivers. They're all not far behind each other, but it's kind of disappointing that the timing schedule hasn't updated. I'd really like to know how far Gouveia is behind Peanut, because that could tell us the whole outcome of this race. Because you've got to remember, by the time you transit pit lane, you complete your pit stop, you could be looking at 30 odd seconds you've dropped. So is Gouveia 30 seconds plus behind Peanut? I think that's the question at the moment. But these two are having a great battle. Geez, it sounds like those tyres are copping a whacking at the moment. Let's just sneak up. I'll have a look at Gouveia. Don't know who he's got in front of him there. That's Cole on the right. Good on him. He's got out of the way. So that's Carter. So Gouveia's coming up. Carter's coming in for his second stop. But let's try and see how far Gouveia is behind Peanut here. Like I say, that'll give us a good indication of where we might filter out. Doesn't want to update, does it? I certainly don't think that's Peanut in front of Gouveia at the moment. But we could be wrong. I don't think it is. Gouveia's coming up behind him probably a little bit too quick here. So this could potentially be one of our back markers. Let's try and peel a name off the car. Can't see there on the left. There's Peanut. Peanut's gone through the 218. Gouveia's 70 odd seconds behind him at a guess, judging by that. So I don't think Peanut's pit stop is going to affect the race lead. I think they're pretty safe there. Alright, here we go. Jimbo's sneaking up behind Hooligan. Let's just see, we'll just check back on this one. These guys are still going for it. I think, well, it's certainly not bad. I think this battle, what have we got? We've got just over 7 minutes to go. Is Saint going to leave it to a last minute dive? That's going to be interesting to see. He's certainly got the pace in that car. He's certainly not out of it. But it'll be interesting to see if he leaves it to the last lap. Because I can tell you right now, having raced both these guys, if I was Kick, I don't think I'd want Sim behind me. But then if I was Saint Sim, I don't think I'd be wanting Kick behind me either. So is Saint Sim going to just sit back for the next 6 minutes and just, he's cooked it there. Hasn't lost him too much time, but is he just going to sit back and wait for the last lap? Can he pull up the Kick, get in front of Kick, and hold Kick off for a last lap dash? Or do you think he's going to do it within the last few corners? I know Saint Sim right now is probably going to be pushing hard to make up that distance he lost by going wide. Now we've got Kick coming up to a back marker. Will they pull out of the way and let Kick go through nice and easy? You know, we're looking at blue flags. Or is... Oh! There. That's Bounty. Oh! No, I think Saint Sim will let... I think he might let Kick go. This will be interesting to see. Or is he going to try... No, he is. He's backed off. He's backed off. Oh, that's okay. So Peanut's gone through. All right, let's have a look and see where Kick is. So Kick's now stuck behind back. So that's literally given Saint Sim a very good breathing space. Very good breathing space. Because Kickett's now got Bounty between the two of them. And like I said before, Bounty's not slow. Bounty, that just... look, that'd be interesting too. Bounty would have had blue flag showing. And he's kind of... I don't know. It didn't look like he was trying to get out of the way. That's only my opinion. And he's just been given a little bit of a tap that's turned him. So Kick's bailed out. He's got him here. I think Kick. There's no way Kick is going to make that distance up to Saint Sim. Whereas Peanut's still pushing it at the moment. He's still pushing it. Peanuts, when's he going to come in? We've got 3 minutes to go. He's gone another lap. Has he forgotten that it's a two-lap, two pit stop strategy race? Has he forgotten? Is he too used to being... Because it's normally a one lap. Now, who's that right behind him? That's not Gavea, no. He's got someone right behind him. Stu's car could do with a wash. Who's that? That's Saint Sim. So his Peanut got a little bit loose. He let Peanut go through, but now he's all over the back of him. And the totem's not showing that Saint Sim is a lap down. I would guess that he is. Cole's come in for his last pit stop. Oh, they've both overbraked. Oh, Saint Sim, that's excellent driving. He's actually pulled his car up better. And now Peanut's got to do all that work again. So will Peanut now use this opportunity to come into the pits? Has he got the time on Gavea? He certainly does. He's like half a lap in front, but what will that equate to in timing? That's more, look, judging by the map there on the right, that's more than 30 seconds. I know we shouldn't assume, but to me, that Peanut should be able to come in here and come back out in front. Is he going? He is. All right, we're going to stick with this because let's see where Gavea is. Well, I think Peanut will come out in front, especially like, will TB make way for Gavea?
Leader's on final lap now.
Leader's not on the final lap, he's in the pits. But I guess it's kind of still... Wow, what a late pit stop. And now he's on his way out. So Peanut... Oh no, he's still on his way in. Oh, this is going to be not close. No, Peanut will come out in front of Gavea. He's already on his way out. There you go. Yeah, he's a long way in front. And this will... Yeah, Stu's a little bit behind Gavea as well. This hopefully will update our totem and we'll see just where or how far. It's got to be 20 plus seconds, doesn't it? Oh, that can't be right. Wow. A minute. Talking a minute. Okay, let's have a look. We'll stick... Oh, Peanut. Cold tyres? Did you change tyres? Obviously you've got the space between you and Gavea to make a few mistakes. Gavea certainly looks like he's pulled out and put a bit of extra time on Stu there as well. But these have got to be tricky conditions. Got to be tricky conditions. Low track temp. Low air temp, low track temp. I don't understand how the track is still damp. It looks pretty bloody wet to me. And if they had got another 5 minutes, this race is gonna stop raining in the next 5 minutes. I think since we jumped online, these guys have literally been racing in the wet, in the rain. I don't think this rain has stopped one bit. There's not been any showers, there's not been anything. These guys have literally been going at it in the rain since we started streaming. And again, take my hat off to all of them. These guys are good blokes. They're all good, clean, fair races. So Peanut, I think this is not Peanut's first win for the season. So this will be a victory for Peanut.
The leader has finished the race.
There you go. Gavea is a little bit behind. Nice and clean through there. Geez, those ripple strips. I don't know about staying on the ripple strips. I reckon that's got to be slippery on them. These guys have got great car control. I take my hat off to them. Alright, now we've got Stu. Stu's coming around. Is Hooligan? Nah, Hooligan won't get him. Stu will be pretty happy with that. Great race by Stu. Then we've got Hooligan. Then we've got Jimbo. Oh, geez, close finish, boys. That's great. Great racing. Young Ant, or young Coop. Cooper, he's going to come home in 6th. Oh, don't get too cheeky, Coop. You'll fucking lose it. Alright, then we've got Cobber. A little bit of shit all over the back of these cars. Someone's going to earn a bit of coin washing them. Alright, then we've got Adge. Beautiful colour scheme on Adge's car. Then we've got Sim. Then we've got Kick. All pretty close finish. I mean, these guys have been... I think that's been great racing, to be honest. As you can see there, we're scrolling through everyone and all been very close finishes. So I take my hat off to all of them. So Bounty's over the line. Bounty's back in the pits. Carter's finished off. Oh, someone awesome. That is... Someone awesome has left the race, I believe. I can't flick over to him. Or Go White Ranger. Fanny Fart. Great name. Fanny Fart. Well done. So that's it, everyone. As you can see there on the totem, that is your first, second, third, right through to Cole. I believe it'll be Cole. Someone awesome doesn't appear to be there. So no, we've had 15 people complete tonight. We've had 18 start. And look at that. Just as everyone returns to the pits, the rain stops. So how happy would you be if you'd literally just done an hour and a half of Nürburgring in the wet, and the moment you go back to the pits after the race, the rain stops? So you can see there, that's a very dominant finish from Peanut, 31, nearly 32 seconds, with Stu creeping up, 14.3 behind him. Hooligan 2.5 behind Stu, and then Jimbo trying so hard and falling 0.6 short. So as you can see, we had a couple of good battles tonight, which actually was quite nice to watch. It will be interesting to see whether there has been any penalty coming out of was it kick and St. Sim? Be very interesting to see.
Go.
If anything came out of that. All right, because that was good hard racing, but just a few little mistakes. So I think we'll leave it at there. I can see there's one viewer. I have a funny feeling that's probably fucking me. But thank you for anyone that did jump in. Thank you for anyone that does watch this. And I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it gets better. And I hope to see anyone again soon. Thank you very much for tonight, and have a great night, and hopefully tune in next week. All right. Good night, everyone.